Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new, then welcome. I am a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms. So we are going to do a summer predictions reading for you today. I took a break for quite a few months, but I'm excited to be back, and I figured it would be great to just start in with some summer predictions, because where I am, it's going to be summer soon, and I figure a lot of people are kind of feeling stuck and just like wondering what's coming. So I figured this would be a good time to get back into doing some YouTube readings. So before we get started, I do want to remind everyone that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate for everybody. Not all of the messages may be for you. So just take what you feel is meant for you, what resonates with your situation, and then disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe if you've not already done so. Comment below if you have insights of your own or if you'd like to say something about the video. That would be awesome. It really helps out my channel and I really appreciate your support. So we have 3 piles here today. So I'm using the Midnight Oracle cards as the pile markers. So group 1, you have Key. Group 2 is Star. And group 3 is Clover. So just let your intuition guide you to a pile or more than one pile if you're feeling called to a couple of piles. I'm going to put timestamps for each pile in the description box and in the comments below. And we are going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose Key, then this is your message. So we are going to start with your tarot cards and then do your oracle cards and then do charms at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that so that you get some extra details. So yeah, let's figure out what your summer predictions are. So for your tarot, you got the Hermit, 4 of Cups, and 4 of Swords. So this is giving me very like internalized energy. Like this is making me feel like you might be retreating this summer. You might not really want to be going out or getting social. There might be some boredom or like sense of ennui as well, because that 4 of Cups is really standing out to me, and a lot of the time that is just feeling that sense of, yeah, I guess ennui or boredom, or just feeling like things aren't quite feeling right. You're just kind of disillusioned by things. But a lot of the time it means that an opportunity is being presented to you that you're not necessarily seeing. So I think this is a good time to really tune in with your intuition with the Hermit, really just kind of take stock of your inner world, take stock of how you're feeling, how you're thinking, what your life is like. And I think that that's why it's important that you take time to rest and recover. A lot of you maybe have gone through something kind of difficult recently, because the 4 of Swords here is looking really beat up. He's looking like he's had a rough time of it. And the 4 of Swords is that rest and recovery period when things have been kind of tumultuous. It's right after the 3 of Swords, which can be heartbreak, like difficult situations. So I feel like you might just need this summer to kind of unwind and just recharge. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you got Healing Chaos, which is exactly what I was thinking. That's very much what I was feeling. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of you have gone through something really difficult, and it's time to heal. It's time to just take the time to just go within, not necessarily worry about anybody else right now. Just take care of yourself. With all the butterflies here too, I feel like there's a lot of transformation going on, and transformation can be a really difficult process to go through. So I feel like you are having this kind of inner turmoil. You might have a lot of external turmoil, a lot of really difficult things going on in your life right now. There are a lot of difficult things going on in the world right now, so you might be feeling that as well. So I think it's just important to look after yourself, look after your body, look after your mind. Just make sure that you're taking care of your overall well-being. You have full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. So I think that's probably what's coming after you have this chance to recover. I think that you will get that kind of burst of inspiration, because you did pick the Key as well, which is making me think of inspiration or trying to find a solution to a problem. The Hermit, a lot of the time, can be looking for those solutions, but he knows that those solutions are within the self and not in the external world. So that might be why you're taking this time to yourself, is that you're trying to come up with a solution to a problem along with recovering from whatever the problem was. But I do think that taking inspired action is the next step. So I don't think that you're going to be having an entirely boring, internal summer. I think that you will reach the point where you're ready to take the next step in your situation and you'll know which direction to go, which is a really good sign. So for your Affirmators card, you have ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. So I feel like, yeah, you're just riding the roller coaster this summer. I feel like you might be going through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and it just, even if it's a lot of positive stress, that's still wear and tear on your body and mind. You still feel those same stress hormones and chemicals. So it can really drain you, especially if you're an introvert. I feel like a lot of you might be, just based on your cards. So I think you are going to need that time to just retreat and recover and like take a deep breath. But just recognize that even if you're like on a peak or in that valley right now, things will kind of even out. You're not going to be in this up and down period forever. So your love story oracle card is Influence, number 33. So I picked these just in case people are looking for romantic situations, but these don't only have to apply to romance. They can apply to any situation in your life. So with Influence, it could mean that if you're looking for romance, that maybe somebody is kind of putting a bug in your ear about someone, saying that, this person is interested in you, like really trying to kind of hint at you, or they might be trying to get you to move in a certain direction, or somebody might be interested in you and trying to kind of push you to be interested in them. There's that kind of situation. But I feel like overall, this is more about just people either trying to influence you, and that's maybe one of the problems that you have to get away from is, just retreat and move within so that you're not as dependent on other people's opinions and you're not catering to those. But I also feel like for some of you, this might be something that you should pay attention to because of this Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups, like I said, can be often ignoring opportunities that come your way. And this bird is like kind of tweeting at this person and they're not taking notice. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, is that they're trying to really influence them. So there might be something that somebody is telling you that you've been ignoring or you're trying to dismiss, and that really would provide the right opportunity for you. So it could even be that somebody says something offhand and that is what inspires you to take action, or that gives you the idea that you need. So just keep that in mind. You have receptivity. So that's kind of fitting with what I was just saying, actually. Just being receptive, being open to other people's ideas, not necessarily their opinions in terms of like what you should or shouldn't do, but just being open to possibilities, being open to opportunities. I think that's going to be really important, because I think without that openness, you're not going to see the opportunities that are in front of you, and it's going to be harder for you to find the right route for you. So then we have a couple In2It Oracle cards for you. So we have this one, which is Princess of Earth. It also relates to Virgo, and it is the Hermit card. So that's a really cool synchronicity here. And then I'm just realizing we also have full moon in Virgo here. So some of you might be Virgos or be dealing with Virgos, but it's very much that analytical, very particular energy, like really detail oriented, like critical, kind of trying to sift through things, and you're just very particular about things and trying to find solutions, which does fit with that key that you chose. So that's really cool that you got that Hermit Virgo energy, and that's repeating. So I do think that that's something that you're having to kind of pay attention to right now, and that's why you have to retreat, is to just pay attention to those details. So I think that you're going to be able to pick up those details in a few different scenarios, but I do think that that's really what's important right now. And then you also got Archer, so careful aim on target. It's a very particular and focused energy. So this is, and this, I just caught this, that it says implement a strategy. Virgo is very much a strategizer. So I do think that that's what you're doing right now, is trying to strategize, taking inspired action that requires a strategy to make your next move. So I'm loving those synchronicities. And then you have an Island Time Wellness Manifestation Oracle, Law of Attraction Oracle, sorry. But it really is focused a lot on the law of attraction and manifestation. So you have darkest before the dawn, breakdown before breakthrough, major shift is in progress, dissolving barriers and ascending. So I think that really fits with what has been going on for you. That breakdown, I think, sometimes has to tear away what doesn't work for you. And you're in that kind of eye of the storm now where things have calmed and you're just really honed in on yourself and focused on yourself so that then you can break through everything that doesn't work and just start moving forward again on whatever path you've chosen. So I love that. So we are going to get your charms now. So we are going to use the heart today to kind of figure out, what's in the heart of the situation, what do you need to pay the most attention to, and then the rest of the charms are kind of just additional details. They might not resonate as much with everybody, but the ones in the heart are kind of the central point. So group 1, let's figure out some summer prediction details. All right. So in the heart, you have the sun. So I love that because the sun is clarity, the sun is solutions. It's just very much like bright and worry-free energy, which is awesome. I love seeing that, considering I feel like this pile has been kind of caught up in some worry. But I feel like you're approaching it in a really practical way, but you might just have to open up a little bit to what's coming in and what other people have to say and just see where those opportunities are and make sure that you're taking hold of them so that you're not blocking them out. You have the hedgehog, so I feel like a lot of you are kind of having a prickly exterior, have that coping mechanism of being a little bit sharper with the outside world, even though you feel kind of soft and vulnerable on the inside. I think a lot of you are feeling very restricted right now with the corset. You're feeling like you don't have a lot of room to move. You have the spider and the spider web, so that's telling you that you can create the life that you want. The spider is a very creative energy, and you can kind of tune into energy as well. You know how spiders can sense when another insect lands in their web because they can feel it. They can sense when that happens. So I feel like that's just saying be aware of those opportunities around you. Make sure that you're paying attention to your surroundings, and you're going to be able to use that to create the life that you want. And then you also have Anubis, which fits a lot with this transformation energy. So I do feel like that's really what's going on, is it's this ending that has happened or is like in the midst of finishing up, like you're in that turmoil right now, and this summer is going to be about recovering from it and figuring out your next move. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group 1, for your summer predictions. It sounds like it might be kind of a rough start to summer, but I think that you can get through it, and I think it's going to feel like a relief once it's over. So I would love to hear if this resonated, so please leave me a comment below if it does. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an awesome summer, group 1, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 2. So if you chose star, then this is your message. So welcome to your reading. We are going to start out with your tarot cards and then do your oracle cards and then do your charms at the end for some extra detail. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's figure out your summer predictions. So for your tarot, you have the High Priestess, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon. So wow, so you have 3 majors. So this is bigger energy. It's more like kind of talking about your life as a whole. It's not just like little piddly stuff. It's definitely some big picture energy. This is very much spiritual energy as well. I feel like there could be kind of a spiritual awakening going on. You feel like your intuition is a lot stronger right now. I think you might be sensing some change coming in as well. The High Priestess and the Moon in particular are very intuitive energy. So the High Priestess is about those mysteries, like life's big mysteries. It's definitely about intuition. I love that the Moon is on that card as well. It's got to do with secrets, and the Moon is about illusion, intuition, kind of those fears and doubts that crop up when things are uncertain. But based on this, I feel like things are going to clear up for you in a lot of ways, because the High Priestess being that mystery, I feel like a lot of the time it's still knowing what's going on even within that mystery, and the Moon being uncertain, I do feel like it's saying it's going to clear up, because the Wheel of Fortune has to do with fate and destiny and big changes as well. Like if you feel like your life has just been on this negative trajectory for a while, this is turning that around. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say to see if we can get any more particular detail. So you have transformation, which is very fitting. I do feel like the summer for a lot of people is going to be a very transformative energy. But I love this kind of two-sided butterfly where there's two different colors. It's almost making me think of the moon going into the sun, that kind of energy. So I do feel like it's mystery and illusion and like doubt and fears turning into clarity and positivity. So I think that you're going to go through this kind of transformation that's going to be very helpful for you. I think clarity is going to come through. But the thing about transformation is it can be very uncomfortable. And it's cool too because the butterfly symbolism was also present in pile one's reading. So I feel like that is going to be kind of a through line through everybody's reading here. But yeah, that Wheel of Fortune can kind of symbolize that kind of change as well. It's that big picture kind of change. And then you have truth. So that fits with what I was saying about clarity. I think if you're not sure what's true, what's false, what's real, what's fake, that kind of thing, you are going to get that cleared up this summer. I think the truth is going to come out and you're going to be a lot more aware of what is going on. I think this is also giving you an extra message of speaking your truth. Like if you're holding back something, if you're the high priestess energy right now where you're keeping something secret, that might not be serving you very well. So it might be urging you to speak your truth as well. So that's just an extra message for some people. You have full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So a lot of you might need to kind of clear out the energies that no longer serve you in your life right now. You know, maybe detox your home, like your space right now. Get rid of things that don't serve you. A lot of you probably need to detox the group of people you keep around you, or the way that you talk about yourself, or even like the food that you eat. If you've been eating a lot of junk and it's making you feel like weighed down, maybe it's time to change that up and really focus on treating your body well. You know, drink more water, start eating more green things, more fruits, more vegetables, like stuff like that. I feel like sometimes it's those simple fixes that can help clear away some of the mystery and the fog and everything. Because I feel like a lot of you might also be dealing with brain fog. Even in this truth card, it just looks kind of blurry to me. And that's making me feel like when you just have that brain fog and you just can't see clearly, can't think clearly. So I feel like that detoxification process is going to help you get that clarity you need. Your Affirmators card is Ultimate Potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. So that's kind of what this is talking about, is just really opening up for the right people and maybe clearing away the people that aren't open to your success. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I have ever tuned into anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you really need to pay attention to where your potential is and not be thinking small, because I think a lot of you are probably thinking smaller than you should be, maybe smaller than you feel is right for you, but maybe you've been talked into that by people. Maybe that's where that detoxifying comes in, is you need to clear that away and recognize that their opinions don't necessarily matter. I'm really looking at the headphones on this giraffe, and I feel like some of you really do need to just tune people out. You know, that might be something that a lot of you need to do. And with the star, I mean, that's definitely big potential, big dream potential, and just that energy of being aligned with your destiny. So there is this kind of destiny energy here, but this is about taking the reins back and really making way for your destiny to start manifesting. So your love story oracle card is Differences, number 24. So like I told pile one, this deck does not necessarily have to be about romantic relationships. It can be any kind of relationships, or it can be any kind of situation in your life. So I'll kind of explain that a bit, but I wanted to include this in case anyone is dealing with relationships and they really want some insights on that. Even though it's not a romantic reading, I just wanted to put a little tidbit in there for you. So with differences, this could be maybe someone that you have to detox from. So if this is a romantic relationship, maybe you have too many differences and things have just kind of burnt out, and that's something that you're coming to realize. Maybe that's one of the truths that you need to really take on board. But if you're not talking about a romantic relationship, it could just be that you're finding out what doesn't align with you anymore and which people don't align with you anymore. And I think that that's where that detoxing comes in, is getting rid of those things that just make you feel burnt out and make you feel like, they don't light you up anymore, even if they did at one point. Because just looking at this imagery of the match, that I think they did light each other up at one point, but then it did just burn out and fizzle out. So whatever your enthusiasm was in that situation, it's burnt out. So I think it's time to move down a new path. You have acceptance. So that might be something that is challenging you right now, is accepting the situation for what it is, and maybe some self-acceptance as well, especially if you feel like there are these people who are telling you one thing, or saying you shouldn't be doing this, telling you to think smaller, or even that little voice in your head that's telling you to think smaller, or telling you can't do it. I think accepting your true self and accepting other people's limitations is really going to help you, and accepting the limitations of a situation is also going to help, because I think it's going to help you realize that it's time to break free of that has given you as much as it can offer, and that's the end of it. So for your In2It Oracle card, you have Owl, which is crazy because the owl is very much linked with the High Priestess. It's a very wise and intuitive energy. So this says, sees through the facade, secrets lifted, which is what I thought with the Truth card and that clarity. Insights, wise, wisdom, aware, observant, explore the unknown, which is very much what we were talking about, and knows what's going on. So I think you do really know in your gut, and in your heart and in your soul what is going on, what's right for you, what's not. If there are things that are being kept from you, I think you're going to become aware of that. Those might be situations that you have to detoxify from, but I do think that that's clearing up, finding those differences between you and other people, or in a situation that just doesn't align with you. You're going to be figuring that out and recognizing when it's time to just move forward from that. So trust your intuition, I think, is a huge message coming through for you. And then finally, your Island Time Wellness Law of Attraction Oracle card is Life Surfing. So feeling capable of overcoming adversity, no expectations, approaching life like a sport. So I think just recognizing that you are capable of overcoming the situation, whatever it is, and I think having faith in that no expectations. So that really is linked up with this star, is just having faith and trust that things are going to work out. Having faith that things are going to change. That's a big Wheel of Fortune energy as well, is recognizing that change is inevitable. So if things are terrible, recognize that that will turn around. And if things are great, try to appreciate it, because you know that it's going to kind of settle down a little bit too, and you're not going to be riding that high forever. So I think just, taking advantage of whatever is right in front of you is going to help you with this summer. So let's get your charms now for some more detail. And we are using the heart today to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So whatever charms land in the heart are kind of the center point, or things that you have more influence over, and the rest of the charms are more extra messages, might resonate a little bit less, but be more specific messages for other people. But what's in the heart is really like the core of it. So group 2, let's get some detail about your summer predictions. All right, so group 2, a couple things landed here. So you've got the locked up heart. So I feel like some of you are kind of maybe feeling a little bit blocked off from love or from connections with people right now. And, usually I say open up, but in this case, I think that might be a good thing to kind of be like, have those boundaries, especially because I'm seeing the word no appearing down here, which is usually my sign of like, stand your ground, set a boundary, recognize when it's time to say no. And I think a lot of you might have trouble setting boundaries, but just making sure that you're protecting yourself. And then you have the binoculars, which is like what we were talking about seeing clearly and even being able to see kind of into the future, see what's around the corner a little bit. Because some of you might have bad feelings about people with the shark And I love that the shark kind of landed by the tail fin here, because that's showing that you have the power to overcome it. That's definitely personal power and the ability to propel yourself forward as well. You have the little hanger here, so I feel like a lot of you are just kind of feeling like hung out to dry, like somebody is, or like the people around you have kind of left you, like they've abandoned you, like they've kind of told you what they think, but they're not supporting you in the way that you want to be supported. You have the fairy here that's carrying something. So I think just making sure that you don't let them impact your joy and everything, because fairies often symbolize joy and playfulness. So making sure that you're holding on to that. Some of you might even want to be performers or have like really big dreams. I love that you got this double star when you have the star card. That's awesome. That's a really great synchronicity. But this particular star always makes me think of performances, like actually being an actor. Like that's one big thing that is coming through, because you have the comedy and tragedy masks. So people who've maybe wanted to be an actor or a singer, or just something where you're a little bit more public, and something that a lot of people think is maybe not a great idea because it's really hard to get into, things like that. But I feel like a lot of you are very talented at that, and that makes you feel good. So I think you need to trust your own intuition and not listen to the opinions of other people who are trying to like make you think smaller. But with the two peas in a pod, I think you're on your way to finding the right person who's going to be supportive of you, and you might have a couple people who are right for you. So just make sure you're paying attention to them and ignoring the opinions of people who don't fit with you. You have the phoenix here, so that's very much that transformative energy that's rising up out of the ashes and recognizing that the bad situations won't last forever. And then finally, you have the jack-o'-lantern. So Halloween might be coming up a little bit. It's also making me think of like wearing a costume, like you're having to put on a mask for other people and like acting one way around those people, but it doesn't feel like who you are inside. But this can also be kind of a symbol for timing. So it might be when things really start to turn around, like when you start noticing things. So this might stretch out past the summer. So that's just kind of an extra tidbit for you. So group 2, I hope that this resonated. This was kind of a heavier reading as well. Pile 1's was kind of tough too, but I feel like this is going to be a really powerful summer for a lot of people. So like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you have some insights. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hi group 3, welcome to your reading. So if you chose Clover, then this is your message. So we are going to start with your tarot and oracle cards and then do your charms at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that so that you get those extra details. So let's figure out your summer predictions, group 3. So for your tarot, you have the 5 of Wands, 9 of Coins, and 5 of Coins. So 2 5s here and then 2 coins cards. So I'm feeling this sense of inner conflict in particular because you have the 5 of Wands. So this is definitely conflict. A lot of the time it can be conflict with other people or competition with other people, but in this case I'm feeling like it's definitely inner conflict because these other 2 cards are very independent / alone cards. So I'm feeling like this is what's going on inside your head, is this conflict between this 9 of Coins energy, which is feeling very abundant, feeling like your work has paid off, feeling like you're able to reap the rewards and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then the 5 of Coins, where you're feeling this sense of lack. You're feeling like the little match girl here who's left out in the cold and just feeling like you don't have anyone to turn to. So I feel like this is kind of the conflict going on in your head right now, is feeling like you should be grateful for things, but you just feel like something's missing. That's really the biggest energy I'm getting. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say and get some more information. So you have delight. So that really fits with the 9 of Coins card, is that delight, really just enjoying the fruits of your labors. I think this is also suggesting to you to enjoy the little moments, enjoy those little things that just bring you joy. I feel like a lot of the time when you get caught up in what you should be doing or feeling like you're trying to catch up with how other people are performing, or like compete with other people, you know, trying to keep up with like the financial success of other people and that kind of thing, it's easy to miss these little things that I feel like make life worth living a lot of the time. So I think just pay attention to the things around you, you know, nature and just like little joyful things. Make time to laugh and that kind of thing. Make time to connect with people as well. I feel like that's something that you might have trouble with, is connecting with people, because the only card that has people in it, besides the main person, is this one. And it's like competing with people, it's fighting with people. So I think make time to be open to other people in your life and make time to be giving and receptive. You have first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. So that kind of fits with what I was thinking with the like this inner conflict going on with the 9 of Coins and 5 of Coins, of feeling like you should be grateful and really enjoying yourself because you have so much. You know, you have a lot of things to be grateful for, but you feel like something's missing. And I feel like maybe this inner conflict is you beating yourself up about not being grateful enough, not really appreciating the things you have enough. And this is telling you, don't do that to yourself. Honor your feelings. All of them are valid. Make sure that you're not judging yourself for feeling a certain way. You know, those feelings are there for a reason. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the exact truth, but it's important to honor that feeling and maybe even explore where it came from, but just allow it to be. Don't shut it down. Don't push it away. Don't try to banish that thought or that feeling. Just allow it to be, because it can teach you something. Your Affirmators card is Perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, which is ironic since that said delight, so I almost feel like that's coming through sarcastically now. You just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier. Blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. So I do feel like that's really what's going on, is that you are judging yourself for not enjoying every single step of the process. But you know what? There are really difficult steps on the process. You know, it's not everything is going to be sunshine and daisies. Like, yes, delight when you feel good, like really soak it in. But sometimes you are going to feel like the little match girl, and you're going to feel abandoned, and you're going to feel like nothing is going right and like you can never get out of it. And it's important to honor that and to allow yourself to feel that and express it, because I feel like a lot of you shut that down and you don't want anyone else to see it. And that's not always the healthiest way to go. So we have a love story oracle for you. So your love story oracle card is number 8, romance. So I pulled these cards just in case anybody is interested in like a romantic reading. I'm not doing a whole romantic reading right now, but this just gives you a little bit of a tidbit. But it can also apply to relationships that are not romantic or just other situations in your life. So I'll explain in a minute, but this one is romance. So for those of you interested in romantic readings, this is telling you that you are going to get a little bit of romance this summer. So it could be something starting out, it could be kind of a rekindling with somebody, but just you're really going to enjoy that and feel that romantic vibe, which is awesome. For those of you not interested in a romantic situation, this is just telling me to romance yourself, you know, date yourself, really kind of indulge in things, treat yourself like you want to be treated by someone else, really be kind to yourself, because I think a lot of you are being very unkind to yourselves. Nurture yourself. There's just a lot of self-love that I think needs to happen, so just make time to do that. You know, do something a little bit indulgent, treat yourself a bit more. I just think it's really important right now to shower yourself with love, because I think you're not always feeling it right now from other people. So make sure you are showering yourself with love. I just feel like I have to really emphasize that. So your next oracle card is Worthy. This is giving me chills because this is so fitting. I feel like a lot of you feel like when you are successful, you feel unworthy of the success. When you are not successful, you feel like, yeah, that's just my luck. I am unworthy of having success. Like, it's just, there's this harshness about the way that you speak to yourself and speak about yourself, and cut it out. I just recognize that you are worthy. I know it's easier said than done to love yourself, but recognize how worthy you are. Recognize how you treat other people and how you think about other people, and you're generally not as hard on others as you are on yourself. So repeat that if that helps. Say, I am worthy, because I feel like you really need to allow that to sink in. Like, yes, you can honor your feelings of being unworthy, feeling unworthy, but then let that pass. Try to do things that make you feel more worthy and recognize your worth, even if you don't feel it internally. Your In2It Oracle card is Butterfly, Metamorphosis, Time, Be Open, Embrace Change, Evolution of the Soul, Rising Up, Inspiration, and Reinvent Yourself. So I think this is a really great time to try to change these habits that you have about the way that you talk to yourself, allowing yourself to evolve. And this is really weird. This is the third, well, obviously it's the third pile, but all three piles have had butterfly imagery. So I do feel like this is going to be a really transformative summer for everyone. And I kind of said that in pile 2 because I was recognizing that butterfly imagery coming through. I love that. So if you were called to more than one pile or even all three, maybe go back and watch the other ones if you haven't already, because I feel like there are some messages in here slipped in for everybody. So they might all have some pieces that will resonate for you. So just keep that in mind. But I do think this is a time to really change the way that you talk to yourself, change the way that you approach things. Allow yourself to feel lucky. With this clover, it's just making me think of like being lucky or having that chance to see that 4-leaf clover. And I think you're always feeling like you have bad luck. So just allow yourself to feel like the luckiest person alive. Allow yourself to just really embrace the desire for something better as well. I think a lot of you are just so hard on yourselves. You just feel unlucky or not worthy of that kind of luck. And I just feel like you get into that negative self-talk. And what a way to end our cards. Limiting beliefs. So this is your Island Time Wellness Law of Attraction Oracle. Subconscious beliefs impede progress. Check in with the self. Shadow work. Rewire with subliminals. So this is telling you that these beliefs are impeding your progress. So you can only get so far when you are talking so negatively about yourself. I'm actually going to put this down here because I think it's important to see that like front and center, because that's what's holding a lot of you back. It's not the outside world. It is not everybody else. It's not your luck. It's the way you talk about yourself, because I think a lot of you maybe would have better opportunities, or you are holding yourself back from going after things because you feel unworthy of them. So like if a job opportunity comes up, you want to apply for it, but you're like, you know what, I'm never going to get it, so I'm not even going to try. Or like with romance, maybe you have somebody that you're really interested in, but you're like, you know what, they're too good for me. They would never, be with me, or it would never work, or I would screw things up. Cut that out. It's really important to make sure that you're being kind enough to yourself, because these beliefs are spiraling. It's really just building on itself, and that can be cut out. You have power over that. So really pay attention to the way that you talk to yourself and about yourself. So we are going to get your charms now, get some more detailed information, and we are going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So that's like what you have more control over. That's the kind of center point of the reading. And then all the other charms are more extra details and things that might resonate just with a few people and not everybody. So group 3, let's figure out some more detail on your summer predictions. All right. So in the heart here, we have the number 6. So that could be significant. 6 is the card of the Lovers. So for a lot of you, this could be like relationship related. It could be related to soulmates, maybe feeling unlucky in love. It could be just feeling unworthy of the people around you, feeling unworthy of the people that you aspire to be like, that kind of thing. You also have, I'm going to pull these out so I can put this back. All right, if I can get this. So you have the paw print, which often has to do with leaving an impression or following in someone's footsteps. So it could be just something left an impression on you, or like ancestors or families or your environment growing up. This is how people talked about themselves. So you are now following in their footsteps, or just seeing that happen left an impression on you, and you are now repeating that toxic behavior. So just recognize where that comes from, to know that it's not like you did something wrong or anything, but it's important to start undoing that, start unraveling that desire to do that. And then you have the plane. And that often makes me think of travel, so it could be literally related to travel, but I do think this is talking about this really long distance journey that you're on. So this could feel like this has been taking forever. Maybe you feel like it's taking too long for you to get through this scenario, whatever this is. But I think that it's important for you to kind of honor every step on the journey and honor every backslide, honor every bad mood, and just not judging yourself for that, recognizing that there's a purpose to each step. So you have the snowflake, so that could be a sign of winter, either when something happened or started, or it could also be that this is maybe going to be that longer journey that takes place, from now until winter time. It could be that, but that also has to do with uniqueness and, snowflakes, no two are alike. So recognizing that something that works for someone else might not work for you, that kind of thing. You have a little sign here to be kind to yourself. Okay, yeah, I have chills because that is the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this is to try to be kinder to yourself. Try to be kinder in the way you talk about yourself and the way you treat yourself. Because this little bear with the flower often talks about our inner child too, and that desire to just do something nice, just for the sake of it. So to try to treat yourself that way. You have the two peas in the pod, so even reaching out to people around you who you feel understand you or will build you up rather than tear you down, that can help. But that also might mean for those of you interested in romance that you have a soulmate that's coming in the summer, or somebody you might meet, or you just might feel more connected to someone this summer. Even if that someone's yourself, that could be something too for a lot of you, because I feel like a lot of you do need to connect back with yourself. You have the number 1 here. So that's obviously new starts. That's magician energy. So recognizing that you have all the tools at your disposal that you need to really move forward in the way that you need to. And then you have Pisces energy. So this is very dreamy and idealistic energy, but Pisces also is prone to emotions, kind of getting overwhelmed by emotions. It's very watery. It's the last sign in the zodiac. So I feel like this is kind of a spiritual evolution for you. This is a big barrier that you have to break through, but just be kind to yourself as you move through this situation and as you move through these emotions. So, Group 3, that is your reading. I hope it resonates. All 3 groups today had much heavier readings than I was intending on going in for. I was honestly looking for what kinds of fun events are going to happen. And it turned out being here is this great spiritual awakening you're going through. So yeah, but I hope it resonates. Like, share, subscribe, please, if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment if it resonated. I would love to hear about your situations and what resonates with you, what works. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.